On this edition of Forever Home, we're talking kitchen renovations, updating the look of this space, and adding solid surface countertops. Let's get going. Here we go. So a customer called us because they wanted to upgrade their kitchen space. They didn't really want to gut everything from a budgetary perspective, but can we do some things to freshen it up? Maybe paint the cabinets, replace the countertop, kind of reface things, and make some improvements. So we have worked out an agreement with them where we are going to be painting the cabinets, and we're going to get into the sort of the gray color family, and we'll show that in one of the upcoming videos. And we're also replacing the solids, so the countertop, they had a 𝗓𝘂𝘀𝘀 top. I'll take you out in the garage and show you that. And we're going to put in a rare marble looking solid surface on top of that. We're in the process of templating that here today. But part of the process that goes into this when you're putting in a new countertop is the stone folks have to come in and they actually have to build a template and take all their measurements and either use a computer and photographs to locate where all the corners are and get the full layout. And then you can actually go to the shop and do a digital layout and actually see your slate and your piece of stone and where the grains or veins are going to be and things. That is one of the options that you can do. But the countertop has to come off. So if you've got a countertop installed, we've got to disconnect the sink plumbing, take all of that out. If there's any other connections in this place, there were screws up next to the dishwasher through brackets into the bottom, so the dishwasher had to come out so we could get that removed. So our team comes in and we get here a couple hours ahead of the template folks and completely remove the countertops, get them out of the way. We let them do their template. And then usually it's about a 2-week process for them to fabricate that stone, get it cut to size, polish, do all the things they need to do to it before they can bring it back and install it. Well, do you really want to be without your sink for 2 weeks? So one of the other things that we do is we pop the sink back in for you when we're done. So there's 2 or 3 hours in the morning, we take everything out, the guys come into the templates, we come back in the evening or the next day and we put your sink back in for you. So at least you have countertop working during the interim while the fabrication process is taking place. Let's pop out in the garage. So if you've got a space on site that we can store that countertop, that really helps. Here we were able to just place this out in the garage and everything's been disconnected. You can see the sink down here underneath. This was the old 𝗓𝘂𝘀𝘀 countertop and we've got 200 pieces over there that we just set off to the side. And underneath, we actually will need you to empty most of your base cabinets because on this one, we had screws on the side, there were screws on the top of each of the cabinets in different places. So we have to get underneath to be able to disconnect all those, pull those screws out so that we can lift that and get that out. And in this instance, we actually had to remove one of the electrical outlets that was in the way of preventing the side splash up here from coming out. So we may wind up actually cutting off this side splash in order to make it a little bit easier to get back in. But you'll have, mostly functional countertop for the 2-week interim and you're not without. So once we get your countertop reinstalled, there's a chance for you to go down and meet with the folks at the stone place and get the digital kind of footprint look of how your system's going to go together and make sure that you're happy with where the seams are going to be, if there are going to be any, and those sorts of different pieces. And then it's usually a 10 to 14 day fabrication process, and they'll get that all started, run it through all their machines, and get everything polished and pretty looking, and then ready to schedule for the delivery and the install. And then my team will come out again. We will remove your countertops for the final time, get them out of the way, and let the stone professionals come in and do all the final kind of leveling, shimming, and all the different pieces they have to do to bring that in. Usually we have the sink fabricated as part of the solid surface, so that's all one. And then once they're finished, then we'll come back in, finish hooking up your plumbing. And then if we're talking about a backsplash or changing any of the electric around, or if there's any other pieces, if we're doing under cabinet lighting, all those pieces happen after that. So once the solid surface is in, then we can talk about painting walls, painting cabinets, changing out drawer glides, changing out hardware. If you're not happy with the handles that you have on here, take these off, fill them with wood filler before we paint them, and then you can put new ones in whatever configuration you want. In this particular situation, we're getting rid of these really large halogen lights, and we're going to be putting in some of the flat versions. The days of recessed light cans are long gone. We now have these hockey puck lights. There's a little transformer that we wire up and put in the ceiling, and then we put these in, and then they are selectable where you can choose any from a different color scheme from 3000 Kelvin, very orange color incandescent light look, all the way up to 5000 or 6000 Kelvin, which is much more of a blue and a fluorescent look. And you just kind of set that, and you do that before you do the install, and then once they're in, that's set unless you remove these and change them out again. So step one is to draw a picture and get the rough measurements of where things are going to go. And then the next step that Alan's working on right now is taking this very fancy piece of equipment and essentially pulling a string out and measuring and touching different points on the cabinets to getting an exact measurement where the computer's going to lay this out and show us exactly where each of those points are, how far they are from the point of reference, and then be able to computerize that and put that into a drawing that they can use for fabricating the stone with. So that's all part of the process that goes in. But like I said, we have to have the countertop completely out of the way, the appliances in place where they're going to go, everything leveled or at least in a straight line. If it's out of level but in line with each other, parallel with each other, that works. But we want to try to make sure things are as close as we can. And in this particular case, we had a situation where the sink and the base cabinet here are not exactly centered on each other. It's like, well, do you want the faucet centered? Do you want the sink centered on the base cabinet? Or do you want it centered on the lift of the window? And in this case, we went and measured the old countertop and found out that the old sink was measured with the cabinet, centered with the cabinet. And the homeowner had never noticed that it was out of sync, out of center with the window. So we're just gonna go with the way that it was set up before. And so now that we've answered several of those questions and I got things put together, this is close to the final step where Alan uses a machine to help start plotting all of these very specific distances around the kitchen. And that's gonna allow the computer to show them exactly where and how to cut that stone before they start polishing it and getting it all prepped and ready. So Alan's wrapped up his work. His measurements are complete. He's got everything that he needs. We've gone over with the homeowner the size of the sink, the size of the hole. We're doing a single faucet hole location and where that's gonna be located. Just eyeballing, you know, definitely center of the cabinet is not necessarily going to be center of this. The window sash is actually about 2 inches this way. You can kind of see where that's off center, but that's gonna work. So we're gonna put the faucet back in for him. I've already dropped the countertops back in place. And so we're gonna get them back up and operational for the next 2 weeks while the countertop folks work their magic. And then once we get the new solid surface in, then we can work on some of the rest of the details, changing out the handles, filling those holes with wood filler, and then painting everything, making this super nice, getting rid of these two fluorescent fixtures and the whole shoot and match. So we'll call this the before picture here, and then perhaps through the magic of television at some point in the future, we will edit in the transformation of what you're gonna see. But in the meantime, if you've got a kitchen project that you'd like some help with, whether it's just updating your existing or a complete gut remodel, rearrange, and reorganize to something that makes a lot more sense for your family and the way that you use your kitchen, give our team a call. There's nothing that we don't handle. Roofing, siding, windows, doors, decks, anything on the interior home, renovating your kitchen, makeovering your master bathroom, finishing your basement, plumbing, electrical, drywall, spackle, paint, build you an additional custom dream house, a garage, whatever it is that we can assist you with. Take a picture, whatever it is that's bugging you, send that photo to us right here on our Facebook page. Click that contact us button there at the top. Send us a message right there. Send us your pictures. Let us know what problem we can solve for you. If you prefer to reach out by phone, we have a dedicated office staff standing by to answer your call weekdays 9:30 in the morning until 2 in the afternoon at 484-748-0008. Please choose option 2 for 𝗗𝘁 Construction and Renovation and extension 2 for new projects, and our team will be happy to assist you. If you're tired of contractors not calling you back, give our team a call. We promise you a return phone call within 1 business day. And like I said, we're always open 9:30 to 2. On our weekdays, if you're watching here on YouTube, hit that subscribe button, click the notifications bell, like this video so that YouTube shares it with more folks. And we really want you to stay up to date on what we're doing with our different projects so that when you're interviewing a contractor for work on your house, you know the right questions to ask to be able to tell the difference between somebody who knows what they're talking about, knows what's going on, knows how to do these projects right, how to go through the different details. You know, there's lots of countertop companies that'll take and do this for you, but are they going to take your countertops out for you? Are they going to put them back in for you? They can plumb them up for that 2 weeks while you got nothing going on? That's where we come in and really help on the project management side, and that's part of the value that we bring to your projects. So we hope you've enjoyed this episode of Forever Home, or we're finished with it. You'll be proud to say it's not just done. It was coat built. We'll catch you guys next time. Bye for now.